Jackilyn Martinez just posted an Instagram reel. She looked stressed, phone in hand, caption reading, "When your BD got you blocked and the rent is due, so the saxophones got louder." She showed herself appearing to call Soulja Boy. When Hollywood Unlocked reposted it, Soulja Boy jumped straight into the comments with one line, "She better call Drake." That is where this story picks up right now. June 2026. A rent joke, a one-line clap, and a situation that has been building for years through courts, live streams, defamation lawsuits, seized royalties, and a woman who just revealed she has allegedly been connected to Blueface for the last 5 years. Back in December 2023, Jackilyn filed a defamation lawsuit against Blueface in Los Angeles Superior Court. The reason was straightforward. During a very public beef between Blueface and Soulja Boy on social media, Blueface made explicit posts claiming he had been intimate with Jackilyn the day before her baby shower with Soulja Boy. He did not stop there.
33,000 times 7. Should I get $7 a sub?
He went on to suggest publicly, in front of millions of followers, that he might be the biological father of her unborn child. Court records later confirmed Soulja Boy is the father. The two had no romantic connection since 2018. Jackilyn was not a public figure. She was not part of the beef. She was pregnant. In her legal filing, she stated that Blueface's conduct caused her severe emotional and mental distress, including depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and crying spells. She asked for $10 million in damages. Blueface never responded to the lawsuit. Not once. That single decision handed Jackilyn her win without her ever having to argue a single point in front of a judge. When a defendant fails to respond to a lawsuit within the legal time frame, the court enters what is called a default judgment. The plaintiff wins automatically because there is no opposition on record. On April 1, 2025, a hearing was held in Los Angeles Superior Court. Judge Peter Hernandez reviewed the case and awarded Jackilyn Martinez $123,243.10. The breakdown was $100,000 for her pain and suffering, $18,000 in special damages, $3,070 for attorney fees, and $2,173 in court costs. Punitive damages were denied. It was not the $10 million she originally sought, but a court-ordered judgment against a major rapper, won by a private individual, is on the record permanently, and Blueface still did not pay. By December 2025, with interest accumulating every month, so Jackilyn's legal team filed a writ of execution, a court order directing law enforcement to seize non-exempt property from the defendant. Judge Peter Hernandez then issued a ruling ordering that all royalties being collected on Blueface's behalf through BMI and ASCA, the two largest music rights organizations in the country, be redirected and assigned directly to Jackilyn Martinez. In plain terms, every time a Blueface song earns a royalty, through streaming, radio, licensing, or public performance, that money was now going to the woman he defamed, by court order, because he chose not to show up. Now here is where Blueface's reaction comes in, and where it gets messy for him. When the royalty seizure story broke in December 2025, Blueface went on Twitch with over 2,000 viewers watching. He addressed it like this: "Give me the subs. I gotta pay Soulja Boy's child support because he's going broke."
Times 7. Should I get $7 a sub?
So his baby mama needs some money. I'ma get baby some new shoes because Soulja ain't got it. He also told his audience the $130,000 would be handled by next week. The internet was not impressed. When the Neighborhood Talk posted the clip, the comment section went in on him. One person wrote, "No, you opened your Walgreens mouth and started lying on that girl." Another pointed out that the only reason he lost was because he chose not to engage, not because the case was weak. Then Soulja Boy posted the Source magazine's article covering the lawsuit and captioned it, "Send that money, boy, you balling, you got it right. Simple, clean, effective." Blueface responded again on Livestream, threatening to appeal. As caught by DJ Academics, he said, "You gon' take your baby mama's money, Soulja? I thought you was Big Draco. Now I'm finna appeal this? Y'all ain't getting nothing. Dead homies. I'm finna call the lawyer. They only won 'cause I couldn't go to court, chat."
Then you gonna take your baby mama money, Soulja? I thought you was so big Draco.
His argument was that he lost only because he was incarcerated and couldn't appear. Legal observers noted the problem with that. The lawsuit sat unanswered for over a year before the April 2025 hearing. Blueface had access to legal representation during other proceedings during that exact same period. Choosing not to respond to a lawsuit is not the same as being prevented from responding. Fast forward to June 2026, and now Jackilyn posts the rent joke. Soulja Boy blocks her and tells her to call Drake. Blueface reacts again, and Jackilyn claps back. Here is what makes her clap back different from everything Blueface has been doing. She is not going live. She is not making jokes about Twitch subs. She is not threatening appeals on stream. She is doing the same thing she has done through this entire situation, showing up with the receipts, staying composed, and letting the facts do the talking. The court gave her a judgment. The court seized his royalties. The court is on her side, and no amount of livestream energy changes any of that. The contrast between how she has handled this versus how Blueface has handled it tells you exactly where each of them actually stands, not just in this argument, but legally. Now, let's talk about the broader financial picture, because the Jackilyn Martinez judgment is actually the smallest of Blueface's current legal problems. In October 2022, a shooting occurred outside the Euphoric Gentlemen's Club in Las Vegas. Blueface was connected to the incident. The club's owner, operating under SG Enterprises, filed a civil lawsuit claiming that Blueface's actions caused the venue to lose its license and ultimately shut down entirely. A Nevada judge ordered Blueface to pay $13,072,482, covering lost revenue, lease damages, unpaid payroll, insurance costs, and property taxes related to the forced closure. Blueface did not oppose that lawsuit either. The judge noted his failure to respond could be treated as an admission that the claims were valid. By 2024, unpaid interest had pushed the total for just that one case to approximately $14.4 million. So combined, the Martinez judgment at $131,655 and the strip club judgment at over $14 million, Blueface is carrying well above $14 million in court-ordered debt. And in December 2025, right after getting out of prison after serving 21 months, he listed his Santa Clarita, California mansion for $1.25 million, the same price he paid for it back in 2019. 6 years of ownership, and he listed it at the purchase price, meaning he was not cashing out on appreciation. He was moving to liquidate. As of early 2026, the mansion had not sold. Analysts noted that the heavy custom branding throughout the property built around Blueface's image and aesthetic. So the picture is this: a man with over $14 million in court-ordered debt, whose music royalties are being redirected to his defamation judgment creditor, whose mansion is sitting on the market unsold, going on Twitch to tell 2,000 viewers that $130,000 is getting handled next week, while simultaneously trolling his baby mama's rent situation. And then Jackilyn claps back, and Soulja Boy sends her to Drake, and the whole thing goes viral again. Now for the third story, and this one reframes everything else. In April 2025, while Blueface was still incarcerated, a clip appeared on his Instagram stories featuring a woman no one had seen connected to him before.
So, my name is Amani, and me and Blue been...
The Shade Room pulled the clip before it timed out. The woman in that video was Imani Jackson, and she sat down for an exclusive interview to explain exactly who she is. What she said was not what anyone expected. Imani Jackson told the Shade Room that she and Blueface have been connected since 2016 or 2017. They met at work, on a shoot, and over time developed a real connection. My name is Imani, and me and Blue been locked in since 2016 to 17. We met at work, we was shooting together, and we fell in love. She said, laughing off the last part. She said they kept noticing each other, eventually exchanged contact info, and linked up again in person after some time chatting. In a follow-up conversation with the Shade Room, she clarified that things between them were never made official. It was on and off over at least 5 years, and her understanding throughout that entire period was that Blueface was single. She had also been maintaining contact with him while he was behind bars, checking on his mental health, sending positive energy. Now hold that timeline up against everything that was publicly visible about Blueface during those same years. From 2016 to now, Blueface had his very public on and off relationship with Treezanne Rock that played out across reality TV and social media for years. He and Treezanne welcomed a son together, Treezanne Jesus Malone Jr., born September 2023. Then immediately after his prison release in November 2025, he debuted Hazel E. as a girlfriend, and publicly ended that relationship less than a month later, on camera, calling her too old to be acting this young, and removing her from his roster. Then came Neve Akira, who got his legal name tattooed under her chin, confirmed a pregnancy in February 2026 on a Twitch livestream, found out they were having a boy in March 2026, and by April 2026 was dealing with her ex-boyfriend, publicly claiming he was the baby's biological father. She confirmed she would be taking a paternity test. And through all of that, Imani Jackson says she has been there since 2016 on and off. With the understanding that he was single, the Shade Room itself put it plainly in their reporting. While Imani Jackson says Blueface has been single for the last 5 years, photos, videos, and other exes might disagree. Imani is not claiming she was wronged. She is not suing anyone. She is not playing victim. She sat down, told her story, and let the audience draw their own conclusions. And what those conclusions point to is a very specific kind of behavior. Someone who is capable of running completely separate narratives with completely different people simultaneously, with none of them fully aware of the others. That is not a small detail. That is the context in which every other story in this video makes more sense. Pull all 3 stories together and one clear picture emerges. Jackilyn Martinez was dragged into a beef she had nothing to do with, while pregnant, by someone using her name to score points in a rap argument. She went to court. She won. She is now collecting his royalties. And when he tried to troll her rent situation, she clapped back without losing her composure once. Soulja Boy watched every step of this, posted the lawsuit article, told Jackilyn to call Drake, and kept it moving. Imani Jackson appeared on an Instagram story, gave one interview, and in doing so quietly revealed that a 5-year connection to Blueface existed across the exact same years everyone thought they knew everything about his personal life. And Blueface, fresh out of prison after 21 months, with over $14 million in court-ordered debt, royalties being garnished, a mansion that will not sell, a paternity situation with his current girlfriend still unresolved, and a history of choosing not to respond to lawsuits until the judgment is already signed, is going on Twitch to joke about Twitch subs covering his bills. 3 women, 3 very different stories, one name connecting all of them, and a legal record that keeps getting longer every time he chooses a live stream over a lawyer.